All right, happy Monday, everybody. My name is Ryan. I'm filling in for Glenn today. I just want to see if everyone can hear me. Can everybody see my screen as Joey takes care of us in the background? I'm just looking out for the chat now. Let's see here. All right, can everybody hear me? Audio is a little low, Ryan. Hold on, we're going to get Joey loud and clear. All right, perfect. We are good to go. It is Monday. It's been a wild ride in the market over the last week or so. The Dow Jones, giving some of those gains we saw this morning. We see the Nasdaq up 158 points right now. Even the VectorVest composite up half a point. Let's see here. All right, so yeah, it looks like the audio might be a little low, but for the most part, it sounds like we're pretty loud and clear. Let's see here. All right, we're good there. All right, yeah, going back to the software here, just want to make sure everything was working. Now, we're seeing the color guard here. We saw, some indecision over the last 4 trading days here with yellow, red, and green lights appearing, especially with today, the BSR back in favorable territory. A lot of volatility in the markets. We'll see how much as far as the election has to play in this, but it looks like right now, the indices are all in positive territory, but again, they are starting to retrace. So let's go ahead and go into the VectorVest composite chart here for 1 second. Just want to see what the intraday is looking like. All right, yeah, you see that high here right out of the gate this morning at $68. Pretty much even here with a retracement to follow suit. So yeah, pretty volatile day again in the markets here. Is Palantir a good buy now? As far as the market, Palantir definitely thinks it's a good stock, and especially with the cyber security issues that happened late last week with CrowdStrike. I'm sure there are some bottom fishing opportunities with a lot of these companies here, being Palo Alto is another one. But just be careful. We'll take a look at CrowdStrike. I haven't looked at it today. I'm curious to see if it's starting to turn back around a little bit here. Let's see here. Palantir, wait for the primary wave to turn up or buy a smaller amount of shares until the primary wave turns up. That's great advice. If you're going to jump in any stock, Palantir or not, the primary wave down, the short-term trend of the market is against you right now. So if you do jump in, opening a position, stepping into a position, I wouldn't open up a full position, but, tiptoeing in, not a bad way. If you get some follow through, we get a primary wave up, a green light or something like that later in the week, adding to that position is a good way to go. But if the market turns the other way, we start to see, the primary wave stays down. We see red lights in the price column. Stick to your stop when you first open up that initial position. Don't keep adding to a losing position here. I'm not an advocate of dollar cost averaging, especially if something is on the way down, because you're just, you're putting more money into a loser. Let's be honest here. Let's see. CrowdStrike down $266 right now. That's what Pennywise. CrowdStrike is crashing. Well, there's a lot of rumors out there. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but a lot of people believe that that whole mishap last week was not caused, by just a mere update. There's a lot of rumors out there on the internet circulating. It could have been something much worse, some kind of potential cyber attack. Who really knows? But it is putting a lot of spotlight on these companies, and it really just shows how vital these cybersecurity companies really are. CrowdStrike, one mishap shut down a lot of different aspects of the economy. Everything from banking to the airlines. I don't know if you saw my short last week. I think it was Friday. I woke up and literally one of the first articles said, "Travelers do not come to the airport." So that just shows you how important these cybersecurity companies are. Jumping in, doing some bottom fishing. If you're buying, if you already own some of these positions, you're adding a couple more on the dip. Not, the worst idea, and I see the logic behind it, but just make sure at the end of the day, the trades are managed and they're not becoming emotional. Let's see here. Tesla earnings tomorrow. Yep. There's a big earnings tomorrow. We got Tesla along with Google. So 2 out of the 7 stocks will be reporting tomorrow. So definitely keep your eye on that. That's going to move the market. I mean, those both are reporting after the bell, if I remember correctly. So Tuesday, and Wednesday, probably going to see some volatility, especially with the big tech moving. John says, I got out of CrowdStrike when it failed to hit a new high and fell under the 20-day. Now, John, you know me, I love a good 20-day exponential moving average. I started utilizing it when I was day trading options. But honestly, when it comes to swing trading or really any positions, that 20-day exponential moving average is a great way. And I'm on the same boat with you. If I see something, some kind of asset or index fall below a 20-day exponential moving average, typically I'm always going to advocate being more defensive. I think last week I did a short on the Qs, fell below their 20-day exponential moving average. Please raise your audio more. I'm at 100% and can still barely hear you.
Yeah, hang on.
Bill got Joey in the background working this right now. Now let's get into some news story. Actually, I'm gonna let Joey fix this real quick, and we're gonna get into some news stories. But like I said, we've got some big earnings, and even today, all week, really, I just did the Market Insights video this morning. We've got a lot of big companies, everything from like Visa, NXP Semiconductors, like I said, Tesla, Google reporting, obviously. Marvin says audio okay here.
Yeah, we'll try like this for a second. Go ahead.
Joey's gonna try one more thing, Bill, but it sounds like a lot of the other people's audio is working. I want to move into some headlines real quick. Let's see here.
And don't forget to clear this chat, Ryan.
Let's see, clear this. All right. So the first thing I want to show up is going to be the earnings. So since we're already talking about it here, Ramor says software engineers tend to be arrogant. I'm not a software engineer, so I won't speak on that matter. Let's see here. But as far as earnings, like I said, this is important here because where we're like the third week of this earnings, so it's really heating up this week. I know it's other than the banks, it's been kind of steady, but this week's really heating up. Like I said, we got SAP today, Verizon was this morning, Ryanair Holdings this morning as well, NXP, Truist, Nucor. So if you're holding any of the steel stocks, Nucor is going to move that industry itself. So if you're holding steel, definitely keep an eye on that. That's today's earnings. Tomorrow's earnings, like I said, that's going to be the day to really focus on this. Amir, how is Glenn? Is he joining us? Amir, no, Glenn is not joining us. He's off today. As far as I know, he's with the family, and he should be back tomorrow, business as usual. So this is actually my first time ever doing one of these Monday market videos here. So I really, again, just always want to bring good information to you so that way you can get prepared for the week ahead. Now, like I said, you can see the names here. Other than Google and Tesla, Visa, Coca-Cola, Texas Instruments, those are going to be the big companies to look at. Now, come Wednesday, we got Thermo Fisher, IBM, ServiceNow, AT&T, Pfizer. So that's what I'm saying. They've got all kinds of companies coming out. So look at your portfolio. If any of these big names, not Amir, what happened to Amir? As far as I know, he's okay. No reason to be alarmed there. Nothing health, nothing like that. As far as I know, just he's doing something with the family today. But yeah, so he should be good. But yeah, no, not only if you're holding one of these stocks, but if you're holding one in the industry, like we saw, was it Budget Air reported earnings, which affected Ryanair this morning. So again, if you see any of these stocks, like IBM, if they miss, obviously, tech, maybe some of the semiconductors may go down. I have a feeling they won't, though. So let's scroll here. We got Thursday. We got another big day. We got AbbVie, AstraZeneca here, Union Pacific, Honeywell, RTX, Northrop Grumman, Stellantis. That's what I'm saying. Norfolk Southern, Vail. I know I've done stories on Vail before. So it doesn't matter, exactly what stocks you're holding. I mean, there's stocks coming out with just about every industry right now. I say definitely keep an eye on earnings. Friday, 3M. Friday's going to be the slow day here. We just got 3M reporting. So let's close out of this. All right, so we're getting to the stories here. We got Delta. Delta cancels hundreds more flights and struggle to recover from Microsoft outage. We all heard the troubles that occurred Friday. Well, it sounds like companies are still having issues here. Now, it looks like this Atlanta-based airline also canceled another 550 flights, or 15% of its main line operation, as early as Monday. You see the stock down just below 2% here. It's already down. Now, I will say, this brings me to my next story here. CrowdStrike. By the outage, right? That's what we've all been talking about, whether it's Palantir, Palo Alto. Honestly, with CrowdStrike getting the blame for this one, I'd probably be less inclined to buy this one. I'd have to look at the chart. We'll probably look at the chart here in a little bit. More inclined to buy Palantir. That's right. I said it. I think Glenn's baby Palantir probably would benefit, just from this. One of their main competitors being CrowdStrike. They got the bad rap now, right? It's like Boeing. You don't want to be the Boeing of the cybersecurity industry, that's for sure. So just keep an eye on that. If you are in CrowdStrike, just have some stops in place. Don't be caught holding the bag. Don't just wait around for months or who knows how long for the stock comes back. Bill Burgess says, go Palantir. It's actually a CrowdStrike Microsoft problem, but CrowdStrike is taking the hit for this. Yes, Ramor, I would agree with that. Microsoft is a big company, and I'm sure they're going to, they got plenty of news around them other than just this one hack. CrowdStrike, not so much. You don't see them in the news too often, and now this is the only reason you're seeing them in the news. But remind me, we're going to put CrowdStrike on the charts later for you guys, so that way you can see. I wouldn't buy Crowd. Let the dust settle. Exactly. That is, let me pin this one real quick. Yeah, see, I wouldn't buy the Crowd. Let the dust. I am a fan of letting the dust settle. I don't think the low is in right now. And honestly, I imagine there's probably going to be some kind of investigation, some kind of hearing, because this is a big incident. And, if we get news of this investigation or news of this hearing in the upcoming weeks, it's only going to put more bad publicity on CrowdStrike. I know, they say even bad publicity is good publicity, but I don't think so right now with CrowdStrike. I think it will bring the price down. I do think there might be some really good buying opportunities in the near future. But right now, I'm on with you, Weather. While they're here, see $200 soon. CrowdStrike is probably telling Microsoft it's their problem in order to keep their existing clients. That's not a bad idea, but we're going to take a look. See your Pennywise at S and PanW will also benefit. So we're probably going to be looking at some cybersecurity stocks here in just a minute. Now, this is what I thought was a really interesting story. This is my next story here. The squeeze that sent stocks soaring created a massive illusion. All right, so this actually has to do market breadth broadening illusion due to gamma squeeze in small cap stocks. So we all know about the Russell on its run. The small caps ran. We talked about that a lot last week. But what we didn't really talk about was the gamma squeeze that occurred here. Gamma squeeze is when the volume of, here it is, still surging bank shares were enough to lift the entire index group. This move higher in the Russell 2000 and IWM caught the market's attention. See here. Led to a massive breakout in call volume and a big move higher in implied volatility. So the point of this article, really the point all we got to know about, is if you bought some of these low cap stocks, right? And now there's higher implied volatility with this gamma squeeze. And we're not seeing this momentum to the upside in the small caps like we saw a week or so ago. Well, if you're owning them and you don't want to sell them, covered calls. You're getting more premium. That's the point of the story here. And I wouldn't be too much of a buyer, obviously, with some of these smaller cap stocks, just because according to this article. And I was looking at a couple of them. The option premiums are pretty expensive, pretty overpriced. CrowdStrike has very good product, but they screwed up. Yeah, time's going to pass. Time's going to heal this wound. Pennywise, Tesla, I like to trade options on. IC and spreads work well. Just don't do it around earnings. Yeah, Tesla's hard to trade on earnings, and the options tend to be very expensive for Tesla on earnings. So just keep that in mind. Martin D, Russell 2000. Yeah, that's what this article is here talking about, the Russell 2000. We saw the big move here. It was lagging the S&P quite a bit, but now it's starting to catch up with the S&P. Didn't really do much, but we see, look, the short squeeze. We saw a massive surge in short sale volume starting on July 11th and continuing through July 17th. So that's also brings me, a good point. Was the push up in the small caps by the investors caused a lot of institutions and a lot of individuals covering their shorts. These small cap stocks weren't moving, so they were getting shorted. And when they had this explosive move to the upside, that caused more buying pressure. So like I said, I don't know how long this is going to last. A lot of that's going to obviously have to do with the interest rate decisions. Let's see here. VIST looks like it's going to break to a new high. We'll have to take a look at VIST. So my next article, we got Verizon here, misses quarterly revenue estimates on slow phone upgrades. Verizon down almost 6% here. I'm not too surprised by this, honestly, because as these phones get more and more advanced, each model, I'm sure we've all bought a phone before, they don't really change too much, other than, upgrading the camera, maybe the new AI features will help this holiday season. But Verizon saw, very slow phone upgrades. And I could see that. I mean, with most of these phones costing over $1,000 and consumers, feeling the pinch right now with inflation, I'm not too surprised by this article. I think this is going to, ideally, I think this is a bad sign for Apple, possibly Google, Android phone, Samsung, those phone makers. But definitely, keep this information in your back pocket as we get closer to Apple's earnings. Google's is tomorrow. Even though I know they've got a huge business and the phones only, let me clear that. Only, generate so much revenue. But I think this really just, talks about how the consumer is becoming a little bit weaker. We're not just going to jump out and buy a new phone because there's a slightly better camera than the one before it. And, I don't blame them. My phone's a couple years old. I do got to get a new one, though, so I might be helping out this article. Ryan, do you think Glenn will ever switch from Apple to something else for his phone? Oh, we all know that's not going to happen. He's going to stay on his Apple. Besides, he's not going to learn Android at this stage in life. It's two totally different things. Rock and Roni, Edge AI is at the phone. Yes, I think AI entering the phones, we've really only started just seeing some of this. I know some of the phones have some AI to it, usually with a lot of it's like the video editing side or the assistant that you can talk to on your phone. Get a new phone, everyone. Neil Watson. But ultimately, the phones don't really change too much. Hopefully, incorporating more AI technology will generate better phone sales. But as of right now, Ryan, without getting into politics, do you think the latest political change is affecting the markets? Well, I'm going to get into that in just a second. But yeah, going back to the phones here, really just keep this out, this information, especially with Google's earnings tomorrow or Apple's earnings, just because of the phones, that could lead to slower phone sales, which wouldn't look too good on the reports. Any phones with nil AI, yes, with nil AI eyes. All right, so this is the last article here. Yep, it's political. Jim Cramer says Kamala Harris would be better for stocks than President Biden. Now, let's keep the comments clean. But ultimately, I don't think, this is what I'm going to say. I don't think anyone was caught off guard by Biden dropping out of the race. So I don't think the markets are going to be too affected by that. That is my opinion. I think everyone kind of saw it coming. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, as far as, Kamala Harris being better for stocks than President Biden, I don't see why that would be the case here. But Jim Cramer, let's see here. There we go. Harris, as a Democratic nominee, would absolutely be a net positive for the stock market and American businesses compared with Biden. Cramer said on Squawk on the Street. There's no doubt about that. Well, their platform's pretty, and I'm talking about economics here, not, their social agendas and everything else going on in the country. But as far as economic platform, I don't see them being much different from each other. So I don't think the stock market needs to overreact, needs to be volatile, anything like that. I think it's just going to be business as usual, honestly. Cramer's a talking head that bounces all over the place. Yes, Remore, you are right. And the whole reason why, Remore and everyone else watching this, why I brought this article to your attention is I wanted to get you away from the talking heads. And I'm going to show you where in VectorVest 7 we can see the money moving, right? It doesn't matter, who's in office. We're just here to make some money, right? So I'm going to show you in the software. Actually, let's go ahead and get to the software here. Here we are. And while we're here, I'm going to go to Unisearch. I don't know if you guys saw that. I did a video on this maybe about a week or two ago. Oh. And we're going to go down here to high delta searches industries. And we see the 1 day price delta. All right, I was trying to clear that up. That didn't work out. So we see here, these are the big movers today, right? So these CNBC has something. I mean, they have to have something to talk about, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to make a big deal. Kamala, Biden, I mean, their economic policies are aligned, right? So, and we know Trump's policies. So I don't think this really changes anything. As far as where the money's going to go. I think still the interest rates, that's the most important thing right now. Like I said, though, in last week's video, the semiconductor industry, the video I did on Thursday, doesn't matter. Either candidate, when they talk, the markets will react to it, especially when it comes to economic issues. So just play it that way. But I was surprised Trump did come out last week and said that he thinks interest rate cuts this year would be foolish. I don't think that was the exact word he used, was foolish, but sounds like something Trump would say. So just keep that in mind. You got one party or one candidate already saying that we shouldn't even cut interest rates this year. And that's what I think, if he continues saying that along his campaign trail, I think that would affect the market. Obviously, because everyone, well, not everyone, but the stock market wants these interest rate cuts, especially for the small caps, especially for the growth stocks. Whether or not it's good for the economy, I'm on the boat that we probably should wait for interest rate cuts. But again, just keep what they're saying in mind. Cramer thinks wood is a done. Inverse Cramer Siri will additional AI function. Yeah, I think, any real reason to get a new phone, is going to be AI driven. I want that new AI camera. I want that new AI assistant. I got to get that new phone. That's what it's going to be. I'm not going to go, let me spend $1,500 to get a, maybe 2 or 3 more megapixels on a camera. No. So I think the AI, we haven't even seen it yet, but I think the AI is tremendously about to increase the capabilities of a phone, and thus the demand for phones, I have a feeling, are going to be on the rise, especially going into this holiday season into next year. As far as cutting, John Boss, I like Trump, but he shouldn't talk about interest rates. Back in 2020, they did have to drop the rates like they did. Where are you going to get an iPhone? Well, Bill, I don't do iPhone. I'm going to get me an Android. Probably going to get me the Google Pixel, if I had to guess. It's something that they shouldn't be doing. That's all we expect from Kamala. Oh, dear. Like I said, politics aside, just know when these candidates speak, the market's going to react to it. Don't always fall for every knee-jerk reaction. Stick to your stops. Stick to your plan. It's going to work out. But as far as today, this is the 1 day price delta. So this is the industries we're seeing moving the most right now. Look at this. Electronic semiconductor manufacturing. That's doing a recovery today, right? Transportation, ship. Home miscellaneous. Semiconductor equipment. Utility, electric, leisure, toys and games. So clearly we got the semiconductors here. Big move on them today. Computer, big move. And then look, healthcare, marijuana. Now, something I've seen is with these marijuana stocks, there is a lot of potential to make money with them. If you're very aggressive, if you're speculative in nature, getting into the marijuana space, going into an election generally works really well. We see it's up 2% today. Now, the reason why a lot of these marijuana stocks do well, just, legislation news, more legalization throughout states, things of that nature. But just be careful. These are going to be high flyers, big movers here. Other than that, see, we got home furnishings, semiconductor ship, transportation ship. Let's take a look at this here. I want to go to View Stocks Industry Group. What's the top leader here? You guys want some fish? Let's get some fish today. We got DHT Holdings, BW, TK Corp. So let's graph the top 5, see if there's any opportunities in the shipping here. Whoo, big move today. Full body candlestick, just crossed above the 20-day exponential moving average. Love it. Fresh buy rating. We're right at this level of resistance here. Actually, now level of support, 1193. This is beautiful, beautiful chart here. Big move just today. So if you want a high momentum trade and you're a trader, definitely like this position. Even holding it. Nice lower left to upper right. Some volatility in between, but, not too bad. It was started at $8. Now it's almost $12. So almost 50% up over the last 12 months. Let's see. Your DHC has RT greater than 1. Trend change. Okay. John, did that just happen? Did the RT just cross above 1? Because the chart itself looks beautiful. If you're not already in it, jumping now, let's see an intraday chart here. Oh, yeah, I would just take out that high. Just make sure we got some momentum here. 1203, we're trading at 1197. Yeah, 5 cents. Yeah, I'd give up 5 cents just to make sure we had some momentum continuing to the upside. RT just crossed today. Yes, there we go. All right, look at we got good fish coming out of the gate here. Oh, let's go back. See what other kind of fish we can find in the shipping industry. We got BWLP. A little gappy. You can tell it's low volume. Volume did pick up here. Let's zoom in. That's a nice, look at this, right on its level support here. This actually might be a good bottom fishing opportunity on this style. 1559, 1638, 3 converging to the 8 right now. Still below the 20, so if you are aggressive in nature and you want to jump in this position here, I'd put the stop around 1559. Pretty tight stop on it, just in case you're wrong. Otherwise, stepping into this position, maybe opening up a couple shares. If you get the 3 above the 8, a couple more, you get price action above the 20, a couple more, and then you got a position. That's how I would play this one. Here, look at that. All these stocks are up big today. Right above the 20-day exponential moving average, 874. Resistance doesn't come in till 926. So we got about 50 cents there. So you got about 7% or so. 8% until we hit a level of resistance. So this might be a good play as well. This had a huge jump up here. Some consolidation, 34.39. I'd like to see you just take out the high. 35, yeah. 60 cents just to get some confirmation to the upside because 3 is pretty close to that 8-day right now. So I'd put a pretty tight stop on it, maybe around 34. Let's see what the low is in this consolidation. Here's the low. It's going to be this day. The low, 33.91. That would be my stop right around there. Because if we broke that low, that probably wouldn't be a good sign for the bulls. Let's see here. Also went from H to B, long base. Yeah, DHT, I'm telling you, this one right here, out of all these, this one looks really good. Nice trade setup. Looking at its ratings here, out of all the stocks we just looked at, it's got the highest safety rating. So if you're trying to get a little momentum with some safety along with it, this is the one. That's the play. All right, let's go look at semiconductors. I know. A lot of you are holding them. Let's see what's going on here. Anybody watch my semiconductor video last week? I know the views weren't that great on it, and it was longer. It was a lot longer than my normal videos. Let's see here. View industry group. No. No. There we go. View stocks industry group. There we go. All right. This is the equipment. All right. We got ARM, Nova, Applied Materials, ASML.
Are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we lost service. Am I on the stream?
Yeah.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? Because I think we just lost internet at the office for a minute. And I don't know if it's just here in North Carolina, but the internet has been crap. Not just here at the office, but my house. I feel like every week it's internet issues right now. So I wonder if you guys are experiencing that lately as well. Lost you for a few seconds. Was that a CrowdStrike issue? And that's why I say don't buy CrowdStrike right now, because it's got the bad rep. It's got a bad rep. Let the dust settle, as Walter said. Let the dust settle. All right, Joey's getting me set back up here. Form keeps showing up on my scans. That's what sign up. Spy wants to go. Bye-bye. All right, let me drag this over here. Joe, you good?
Yep, you're good.
All right, we're good to go. Let's see here. We got Form. Don't like it quite yet. A little early, but I do like... This is a good turnaround position here. Nice bullish candlestick today. Wait for price action to get back above that 20-day exponential. It might be a little... I know it's semiconductor. I'd wait a little bit, but we had a slight hold, went right back to a buy. This looks really good, actually. I like that. ARM, I like ARM Holdings. 163, sold off quite a bit here. Now, again, if you're holding semiconductors, if you watched the video last week, as the candidates make their views on Taiwan and China public, it's going to have a huge effect on semiconductor stocks, since a lot of them come from semiconductors. We talked about this a lot last week. See ARM here. There's the sell-off. It looks like it's using that 20 exponential moving average as a level of resistance. We're seeing the upper wick here. Not what I want to see today for the bulls by any means. Semiconductors still great stocks. Should we buy more ARM shares before their earnings or after? Pennywise, when is their earnings? I forgot the day. But right now, I'm not a buyer. It's below the 20-day exponential moving average. Not a buyer right now. Ryan, any idea where Crowd might hit the bottom? What to watch for? Ramon, remind me of Crowd. We're going to get to that when we talk to your stocks. But yeah, here's ARM on the retracement. Let's look at the other semis here. Trouble. They're all down. ASML, AMAT here, right on this level of support. I mean, if you're still holding this from 250 to 218, that's almost, about a 15% drop. Protect profits. We're at a level of support, 2 levels right here. You got to ask yourself, when is enough? But you got 214, 207. So if it gets much more than if it drops much more than 207, again, I'm no financial advisor. I can't tell you what to do, but me personally, protecting profits. That's why I like the 20-day exponential moving average. Even the gap down here, that open was 231. Probably would have been more inclined to at least take some off the table, because the good thing about capturing in profits when a stock is, higher, is you can redeploy those profits when the stock is lower, buy more shares, or have some fun with the money. Either way. See, Onto, yeah, again, below his 20-day. Not much going on there. Let's close this. Now let's look at the big names, and then we're going to move on. View industry graph. View stocks industry group. So these are the big movers today. And this is the semiconductor manufacturing side. This is one of the top moving industries today. We got Nvidia, Cirrus, Advanced Micro. You know all these companies. Broadcom still have buy ratings. So let's just look at them here. Look at that. Nvidia below the 20-day. I think I put my stop in around 118. Yeah, it's below the 20-day. Nvidia, do I think it's going to sell off into oblivion right now? No, definitely do not. We're seeing consolidation. If you're in Nvidia and you're thinking, should I hold? Should I sell? Should I buy? The way I want to put it like this, The prior low is at 116. If price action drops below that prior low, I would protect profits. And if you're a real NVIDIA believer, just buy back in at a better price. But right now, pretty narrow trading range here over the last few days. Looks like it's trying to want to break up to the upside here. Yeah, the high today at 123 beats the prior high of this trading range here. But if we look, the low there is 124.58. And what is this high? 123.28. So yeah, we still have a little bit of room. We do have a gap to fill here. So I wouldn't be surprised if price action wanted to fill this gap here in the near future. Let's go back to a year. Cirrus Logic, look, thing is rocking and rolling. Still above the 20-day exponential moving average. I like it. 3's below the 8 right now. So that actually, it's higher than the 8. Ever slightly higher than the 8. If you're getting a Cirrus Logic, I'd put a stop. Yesterday's low around 134. I wouldn't even wait for the 20 exponential moving. And that's opening a new position. If you're already in the position, again, you know me, I'm a big advocate. If price action goes below that 20-day exponential, start protecting profits. Don't watch it go down further, than watch me and Glenn and be like, what do we do? Do I buy it? Do I sell it? You know what Glenn's gonna say? we keep the graph layouts very simple, and the reason why we keep the graph layout simple is because we already know a lot about the stock. I mean, look at this. We've got the value. What is the intrinsic value? Am I buying the stock on a premium? What is the relative value? Long-term price appreciation. What's the safety? What's the short-term price trend doing? What is the forecasted earnings doing? We already know just about everything we need to know about the stock. And that's why we keep the graph layouts very simple. Once you start adding, 10, 15 indicators on a chart, trust me, I've been there, done that. You are just convincing yourself to do something that you probably shouldn't be doing in the first place. Let me close out of this. Oh, one thing I do want to show you guys, and I know a lot of you don't have this Unisearch. So this is going to be a good one. This is the Trade Like a Pro folder. The only way you're going to have this is if you have taken the Trade Like a Pro class, and you'll get these searches here. I'm not here to promote or sell you on the course. If you want to, I took it. It's actually one of the first courses I ever took here. If you want to learn more about technicals and you want to learn really how to turn trading into a business, that's a great course to take. Jerry D'Ambrosio, he's the instructor. Visit our website if you want to. But this is what I'm going to look at here. It's going to be this bullish engulfing modified search. I'll hit the run search here. Because we're going to see, if you are going to be a buyer today, right, where is a good place to start looking? Well, here are some good stocks. These are all showing bullish engulfing patterns. Now, again, primary wave is down. We only have one green light. So this is going to be more for my aggressive traders. I won't even say investors, because these are going to be more momentum, short-term plays. So let's graph these, see if there's any. And I know there's some good fish here because I looked at them. This one, look at that. 3 converging to the 8 right now. Price action just went above it. Nice bullish candlestick here. We don't even have resistance here until the prior high. Coming at 96. We're at 88. So that gives us about 10, 12% upside price action above the 20-day. I like it. It's building AC. That's been a pretty hot industry this year. SkyWest Inc. This is transportation airlines. Look at this. Nice lower left to upper right. And the airlines, there's been some winners and losers in the airlines recently. But if we see here, look, the 3 just crossed below the 8. Looks like price action trying to find a level of support at this 20-day exponential moving average. If we can get a close back above the 3 and the 3 crosses above that 8 here, this might actually be a great stock to get into. So we're seeing a lot of negative publicity with some of these airlines here, but this one, nice lower left, upper right over the last 3 months. AC will be needing big time for data centers. Yes, yeah. Glenn and I have done stories about that. It's the AC element and then the powering element of those data centers. Like Gladstone Cap Financial. Over the last 3 months, that's about as smooth as it's going to get here, from $21 to $24 here. Is just about 15% upside. Again, the 3 did cross below the 8 here, but as as soon as it hit that 20-day exponential moving average, looks like the bulls want to take charge. We saw that here. Nice level of support on that 20-day exponential. So this one might be a little early, but this might actually play out pretty well. Let's see here. We got this one. I'm not too interested in. I think it's too much downside momentum. Transocean. This is a petroleum company here. I'm going to skip this. I'm not feeling hot on petroleum right now. I'm just going to say that. And the reason why I'm not feeling hot on petroleum, I'll be honest with you, is Trump. We all know if he gets elected, it's drill, baby, drill. Gas prices or oil prices go down when the market gets flooded with our oil. We saw it before. We're going to see it again. Not saying that, his policies are bad for, the companies as a whole. But when it comes to WTI and Brent pricing on a worldwide stage, it's probably going to drop a little bit. It's going to put a lot of pressure on it. It's going to put a lot of supply pressure on it. Let's see here. Scroll down. We got Solar Winds Corp. Look at this. A lot of consolidation here. Quite a bit. Not liking it right now. Oil dipped below 80 today before coming back. Yeah, Ramor, I saw as soon as Brent went below 85 late last week, that's when went, I'm not too optimistic on oil. I will say this. If hurricanes go into the Gulf, or if you see hurricanes coming, towards the Gulf, towards Texas, and you want to play a little oil then, because, most likely it's going to jump up, the short term. Not the worst idea. And I would never suggest, making money or profiting off someone else's misery. But if you live in Florida, if you live in Texas, and your house gets flooded and you make some money, that's the way to do it. I actually, a family member of mine moved up from Florida because his house was flooded. Yeah, you mean when? Yeah, Janice, I told you, because I did an article with the National Aeronautics, whatever does the space thing, said this is going to be the worst hurricane season. And that's why I was bullish on oil for a little bit. See, Pennywise, we got some stocks here from Pennywise. Let's pin this. We got WES, WMB, and EPD for natural gas oil plays. Natural gas moves everywhere. I'm not going to, say Trump's going to affect natural gas by any means. I'm sure he will in his policies. But definitely with oil. I definitely see oil not doing that well. Just because of the supply pressure, under the baby drill platform, I guess you could say. All right, let's get out of here. So these are the stocks here. Oh, Domino's Pizza. That's the one I want to look at here. Domino's Pizza. Great company here. Wait. Oh, it jumped back up to Aon. Let's see here. There we go. Domino's Pizza. Look at this. That's what I wanted to see. Look at that huge gap down. Big old gap. The bottom of that gap, see the close 437, the open 409. We are actually in the gap right now. You see a bullish engulfing candlestick 413. So two ways to play. If you're a more conservative, longer term investor and you're looking for maybe a dividend play or decent company, maybe something not so volatile. Domino's Pizza on a discount here. It was $5.40. Now it's at $4.13. If I go to a 5-year chart, you see that was a huge drop, historically speaking. But over the last 5 years, you're pretty much right around the center of the price, right around the mean there. So if you're thinking about it, me personally, if you're a longer term player buying on the dip, probably not the worst idea. Maybe wait a couple more days for the dust to settle. Otherwise, for my swing traders, this is just a simple fill the gap strategy here. It's at 413 right now. See, the high came in at 413.55. Oh, we're trading at the high right now, while the open was at 403. I just went to Domino's website for the first time. I wouldn't eat that junk. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. What's up, Ryan, Joey, and VV Nation? What's up, Energy 84? Your head is blocking chart. Oh yeah, sorry. Let's do the. Is that better? Oh, no. My head is blocking.
Just drag that bar. Drag that.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. We'll do it like this. Boom. Now my big head's out of the way. And Glenn always told me I got a big head. All right. Let me close out of this chart here. But, yeah, ultimately, buying on the Dominoes, wait for the dust to settle if you're a longer term investor. Might be a good dividend strategy. Otherwise, swing trading, it's a gap fill. You know, how close to the gap just depends on how greedy you think you might be. So let's close out of this. All right, it's 12:45, so I want to take some stocks from you guys. Let's see here. So go ahead and start putting them in the chat. And I'm already going to add CrowdStrike. So RWD. There we go. Palantir. Those are the two I want to add. All right. So I got to scroll back up. You guys flooded me here. Let's see here. AAPF. Oh, wait. We don't have AAPF. Yeah, we don't have AAPF. NVDL. BX. KTOS. We got Vist. SoFi. TSLL. Dell. We got Nike. KRE. Oh, that's the regional banks. Nice. We got KO. All right, let's see how many we got here. All right, Glenn said for every like we get, Ryan has to review 10 stocks. Good one, John. All right, let's go to a year here. What layout do you guys want to utilize? We've got Star Search, 3 and 8, or Midas Touch. Put it in the chat which one you guys would like to have on these stocks. Whichever one's mentioned the most here in the next 30 seconds or so is the one that I'm going to choose. Looks like Star Search, JPI, question mark. Joey, man, we got to get that JPI in the database. Let's see here. All right, so yeah, it looks like it's going to be Star Search for everybody today. All right, so let's go Star Search. I like it because right now with the market going all wibby wobby, and yes, I did say wibby wobby. I would like to see some momentum. And well, here, look at this, CrowdStrike, perfect. For those who think bottom fishing on CrowdStrike is a good idea right now, put a 1 in the comments section. Put a 2 if you think that's foolish. I'm just curious. We're going to answer this question right out the gate. And I'm talking today. I don't care if it's right this second or at the close today. Is buying CrowdStrike foolish or is it smart? Jake says 3. Yep, so it looks like it's good. Most are thinking 2, yeah. And the reason why, look at it's hugging this lower Bollinger Band here. It's a straight, it hasn't even gotten away from it. It's hugging it to the downside. I don't like that. At least wait for price action to, get away from that moving average. Kind of like here. See where it's, hugging it to the downside and then it wants to slowly get away. Yeah, I think the momentum is too far to the downside. I mean, the pressure is on today. Yesterday, looked like the buyers tried. However, it just didn't work out too well. Today, gap down once again. What's the price at right now? $265. So let's see here. This is what I'm going to add. Now all the hype is gone. Let's see what the company's actually valued at. $75. Whew. All right, let's get rid of value. Let's go to 1-year chart. See what we got here. That puts it around 192. That's about 237. Maybe 240. Yeah, I would think around the low 240s, we might be able to find a level of support here. Obviously, just the CrowdStrike problem is not a one-off. It's persisting. Crowd stick. Oh, the comments. Crowd has a sell rating now. Wow. Are you getting my messages? Prakash. Let me let me add that. I did add BX to it. I don't know if I can add it in here. Hold on, let me write that down. But yeah, as far as CrowdStrike, not liking it right now. I'm getting, let's see here. Let's zoom in. Because I really think it's going to be around this range right here, if I had to guess. I'd say about right here. I put the other one right here. Yeah, look at that. Perfect touch. We go to 1 month. So this is my range right here. It looks like we're approaching that range at 262. Right now we're at 265. The low today was at 261. So as soon as it got into my range, you saw some buying pressure there. However, the bottom of my range is at 239. So around 260 to 240. That's where I think support level might come into play. We're seeing a little bit early warning signs. It could potentially be playing out right now. But again, even if we find support here, I want to see price action start to turn around and some optimism before jumping in. But if I had to guess, if we break this zone, I'm thinking, with bad news, and depending on what the market does, we could get it down in the high, around 190s, in the 190s. But right now, this is the level I'm looking at right here, 262 to 239. I think we see some buying pressure. Palantir, look at that. Just broke out to the downside in the slow lane. I wonder if Glenn is seeing this, if he's sticking to stops. But yeah, if you are in it and you're writing Star Search, maybe not close all of them, but, starting to protect some profits, not a bad idea. We had a good little run here from $22 to $28. I mean, that's almost 40% increase. So again, don't be too greedy. We're still, right now we're like right on the verge of that little Bollinger Band. So just, be careful. But right now, according to Star Search, we should be concerned, or at least approaching the taking profit scenario. NVDL, here we go. We got it long. Going back into the middle lane here, so still early to tell. DPO, the short term, still in unfavorable territory. Even the regular DPO, so we've got a 9 and a 20 day here. So the 20 day is going to be a little bit less sensitive, but both of them are still negative. So right now, I don't necessarily see a good reason to jump in. Let's go back to the home page. NASDAQ's up quite a bit, 130. I mean, yeah, if you want to jump in early, that's on you. But as far as this one here, I'd put a stop around $60. Pretty tight stop. It's 10% stop, on NVIDIA. So let's see, Blackstone. See, yeah. Prakash, I was listening to. I was just typing a bunch of symbols here. We got Blackstone Inc. This is a financial company here. I mean, quite a bit of consolidation. Pretty tight trading range here. However, look at this. Broke out to the upside, but this is what I don't like here. Doji candlestick. So to get confirmation, I'm looking at price action to break out either to the upside or to the downside from this wick. So the high is at 141, the low is at 138.73. So if we get a breakout, but right now looking like it's going to be a doji candlestick. We got Katos, defense, aerospace and defense. I like the defense. I know me and Glenn talked about this last week. I don't know if we're going to see a whole lot of jump in it in the near term, but I do like it in the long term. This position here, pretty sideways altogether. Yeah, not a whole lot going on here, but did just cross into the slow lane. Oh, let's go to 6 month. So it did just cross the slow lane. So again, if you are in this position here, protecting profits would be key. However, DPOs are in positive territory still. So anytime the DPOs are in positive territory and we slip to the slow lane, I typically would take less profits off the table. Now, if DPOs are in the negative and we go into the slow lane or the middle lane here, I would be inclined to take more profits off the table, right? Because there's more bearish nature that I'm seeing with the data. Let's See here. Pennywise, Kato's just landed a deal with GE to jointly make drone engines. Whew. There we go. I take it that's probably why it had a good little run here recently. See here. We got Vista Energy. This is a petroleum company here. Just hit a high as of yesterday at $50. So if you're not in it, I'd wait to take out the high. But right now, price action still remains in the fast lane here. So no too big concerns. But you'll notice with this position, the fast lane is shortly lived, as you can tell here. So just be careful with that. This is not too much of a momentum stock, as you can see. But petroleum, like I said, oh, sorry. There we go. But as far as petroleum, like I said, not too bullish on it right now. Just with everything going on, politically wise. But as far as, you know, reasons why to see oil and petroleum go higher, obviously would be the demand side of things, the Chinese economy being a big factor of that. Don't forget TSLA earnings, please. Oh, yeah, nope. We got Tesla's earnings. Tesla's going to be the last. So I'm going to do Google and Tesla at the end for everybody. So once I get through these, we're just going to go stop by Google and Tesla. But yeah, as far as Vista Energy, you know, it is nice lower left, upper right. Nice price action here. You know, if you're in it, stay in it. Nothing real too crazy. But like I said, you know, I'm not too optimistic in petroleum, you know, over the next few months. Let's see here. I'm looking at the increases in power demand. Let's see. All right, SoFi. Look at that. Jumped up with the small caps here. Still in the fast lane. I like it. Still in the fast lane. And SoFi, I mean, it's pretty much exactly where it was 12 months ago. I mean, this used to be the poster, one of the poster childs of retail trading. If we go back 5 years, you can see it started out rather high here in the, you know, way above the $25, $30 range. Now it's at $7. Let's look at our value here. See if the stock is overvalued or undervalued. Oh, wait, I forgot. Sorry, checked off. Look at that, 685. Now, this company is never, I don't want to say never, but it's mostly overvalued, as you could tell, right? We see it being overvalued for the most part. So for this company to be undervalued, this might be a good play here. I mean, this does have the ability to be an industry disruptor. It's forward thinking. It's a tech company. So, you know, me, I like the position. Just entered the fast lane here, slightly above our valuation, so nothing too crazy there. But again, the stock really hasn't done a whole lot. So if you plan on playing this as a momentum play on this star search and the fast lane here, probably not going to be too long-lived, I should say. All right, here we go. We got Tesla long. This is Direction Bull here. All right, you can see the consolidation. Look at that. Quite a bit of consolidation here. Almost looks like a little mini flag pattern. Is that just me? We got a little mini flag here. Doop. And we got the pole. But yeah, it looks like it's a perfect formation going into earnings, because you can see there's probably going to be a breakout here. Let's see. Let's go down. But it's still in the fast lane. We got Dell here. This actually went to the slow lane, which I'm kind of surprised because Dell is a domestic chip manufacturer, but just did not get that momentum like we saw in Global Foundries and Intel. So I'm not too optimistic in Dell right now. I think there's just a lot of attention on other companies that are reaping the rewards from investors, you know. SoFi, too many sell rate. That's what I think, Marvin. I don't like it right now. It's too short-lived, whether you're bullish or bearish on it. It's just ping-ponging, and it hasn't done much in the last 12 months. You know, if you're going to buy it, I just buy it. If I was going to buy it, just sell covered calls on it until it starts moving up. And probably pretty close covered calls, because it doesn't seem like it wants to move up too much. Let's see here. RTX also has earnings tomorrow. Yes, it does. I did see that. That's Raytheon. Let's see here. Nike. Nope. I don't like what I see here. It's this chart over the last 11 months, actually, is moving down. Oh, this is on a weekly chart. Duh. Let's go 6 months here. Nike this last 6 months. Well, Well, it was overvalued quite a bit. Now we actually find it fairly valued. Was undervalued, but valuation dropped as well. I imagine this has to do with earnings here. Finally, look at that, diverging away from that bottom Bollinger Band, finally crossed above. This might actually be a good play here because Nike, traded into the hundreds quite a bit. So 75 to 100, talking about just over 30% increase here. I kind of like this play. That was not the one I wanted to do. Dateline. So let's see here. The high that day, 79.05. I'd give up $4 just to see if price action wants to fill this gap. Once we get above that, that's my target right there. My target's going to be close that day 94. So that still gives you quite a bit of upside potential. $75 to almost $95. Quite a bit here. This might actually be a good play. I do like that full body candlestick today. So even though it's in the slow lane, I do like it as a gap fill play. But again, wait till we get into the gap. We're just a couple bucks away from that. Here we go. We got S&P regional banks here. We all know those went on a tear. Hit its high back on 57.64. Still in the fast lane. Oh, let me take off this value here. I like it. I like everything I see here. We see the bottom wick showing some buying pressure. Nice full body candlestick today. Thoughts on banks as a sector through July? I think regional banks might be good here. I mean, they're playing out nicely. Yikes, I'm avoiding regional banks. I know Glenn doesn't like regional banks. Me personally, I bet they definitely have, there's definitely some risk exposure there. I'm not going to lie and say there's not. But right now, the momentum to the upside. So if you were going to play the banks, now would be the time to do it. Well, regional banks, I should say. Too aggressive even for me. And that might be the case here. If you were going to play the regional banks, I like the idea of an ETF. This one here, probably more than okay. Individual, that would add a lot of risk. But that's why we got the VectorVest 7 software. Look at things like the CI rating. Look at things like the RS, relative safety rating, just to make sure that you're getting a good basket of stocks, that you're not getting one of these aggressive or speculative regional banks that could potentially fail. Who knows? But you all know Glenn's bubbles, and regional banks is one of the bubbles, so I'm going to leave it at that. I know that's what Glenn would say. I do have indirect regional bank exposure through AVUV, small cap fund. So Pennywise said AVUV. It's a small cap value ETF. Ooh, I like that. Small cap value. Here's Coca-Cola. We're in the fast lane here. But again, Coca-Cola is not a momentum play, so Star Search may not be the best one for this. But overall, I mean, it looks good. It is a down day today, so I wouldn't advocate buying it. It's Coca-Cola. You're going in there for the dividends, the safety factor of the company. Let's see how. So that was the last one. So there are a couple stocks. I'm going to do Google. We'll do Goog. We got Tesla. I'm just going to look at just the regular Tesla. I'm not going to do any fancy ETFs. I'm going to look at Tesla's price action. And I'm going to look at Taiwan Semi because they reported earnings last week. Here's Google. Look at that. Just went back into the slow lane here. What was his previous high? Was at 193. Well, we just gave it a fresh buy rating as of today. So for this one, we're going to use VectorVest Simple. Get rid of RT. We got relative safety. Oh, growth rate and earnings. There we go. All right, Google, we got, look at this. Forecasted earnings on the rise. Forecasted growth rate earnings at 20%. Relative safety still favorable at 1.46. We all know Google's a big company. It's a safe company. I think Google's gonna rock it tomorrow. I think it's gonna take off well. I think the AI, a lot of their AI ventures, that they've been, doing, especially some of these other big companies. All these little AI companies they started investing in late last year or last year, this year. They're going to start seeing some of that money flow in from this AI technology. So that's the big driver I see is what Google reports as far as AI earnings. And that's going to be big for the whole space. Is AI actually making these companies money, or are all these companies just spending a lot of money on AI and not getting any money out of it? Political ads will affect Google and Meta. Oh yeah, they might. But yeah, as far as Google, I'm optimistic on it, especially with the AI hype. The company here, let's see our valuation. It's undervalued. Google, whoa, I didn't know that. Google, I haven't looked at Google in a little while. Google is undervalued. So, oh yeah, look at that. This is what you want to see. You want to see value on the rise, price action below it, but also on the rise, because they're just rising together. Nice in sync price action with the value. I like it. Just freshening buy rating. Oh yeah, Google is the most undervalued Mag 7 stock. Pennywise, there we go. Hey, we're finding fish today, and if you didn't know Google was a good value company, so it's not, it's considered a value company. At least I'd put in that spectrum. Ads for their upside. Yeah, and then their company's massive. Google's a great play. I like Google. They've been around for a long time. They got their fingers just about everything you can think of, from YouTube to the Android, iOS, everything in between. GGLL is cheaper play on Google. All right, so Janus, thank you. It's GGLL. This is the direction on Google here. We'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, here's Taiwan Semiconductor last week. It reported. The reason why I bring up Taiwan Semiconductor, they're the one that makes the computer chips for everybody. Still a buy rating. It wasn't close to 200, but even after earnings and after the tech sell-off, we're still at almost all-time highs of 170. Still a big believer. The company is overvalued right now, so just know that you are paying a premium. All right. Tesla. Here is Tesla. So let's see what Tesla is. Tesla, way overvalued. We value at $45.64. So you guys have heard me talk about Tesla a lot. I think it was right around in this consolidation phase here, because I saw the breakup from this downtrend. You can see it on my graph still. Saw that breakup to the outside. And then around this time here, this is when we started hearing about all their robots, their self-driving taxis. They got a lot of things in the work here. They're at a $250 price target, right? Walter says, Google is a good, clean company, unlike my Google search history. Oh, I love you guys. But Tesla has a lot of work to do to justify its price action. Now, the EV segment of Tesla, that's what all the focus is on, right? Not me. Tesla EVs is only going to take Tesla so far, and this is probably about as far as it's going to take it, this price action here, at least, a justified price action. Anything further, like I've said, look out, keep your eyes on stories, because I have a feeling what's going to move Tesla is news on, their warehouse taxis, updates on their robo-taxi service. Updates like that's really what's going to get investors enthused. I mean, we only buy the stock at $50. It's $250. It's 500% what we value it at, 500% more. So it's got to have some reasons to justify that price action. If we look here, price, look at this, boom, boom. You can see it consolidating here. Wait for the breakout. The breakout's probably going to be on earnings. Let's be honest. Fitz just pushed back their humanoid robots. Oh, Tesla. Energy 84 comments, Tesla just pushed back their humanoid robots. That's what I see. As far as EV sales numbers and figures and, Boyd and China, I'm sure you've heard it a million times. It's getting kind of old, right? I do like the fact that Tesla stepped in the ring with Boyd, so that way even if they can't compete with Boyd, it's like a $10,000 car, but the company learned how to be very efficient, streamline their entire supply chain to reduce costs. That's what I really like about the whole Boyd and trying to compete with China thing. They're probably not, they're definitely not going to get the prices down, but it helps the company become more efficient. Now, as far as the Tesla itself, it's going to be a wild card, but with the news that Energy said, Tesla just pushing back their humanoid robots, that I would not be too excited about. But again, I'm thinking Tesla beats, and I think it goes up. I'm not going to say huge, but I think it does go up. All right, so now let's look at CrowdStrike. Let's look at CrowdStrike real quick. Let's look at it one more time. Everyone's asking for it. If you missed it the first time, we're going to take it one more time, and we out of here. CrowdStrike. Boom. CrowdStrike. Yeah, but hope isn't going to fill my wallet. So again, if you're just turning in, or if you missed it, when I talked about before, we use the star search. If you're thinking about CrowdStrike, look at price action, hugging this lower band at 276 here. It is hugging it. I'm not going to be a buyer as long as it's hugging this bottom band. We see the momentum to the downside. Now, what I also mentioned was there's a zone here from around 262 to about 240 or 238. This zone is where I could see price action finding a level of support. We see today, looks like it literally touched the top of the zone here. We see the low at 261. Looks like buyers came in. Let's go to a one-day chart. There it is. There's the low here. Several touches on that low, that line. So again, is CrowdStrike a good company? Yeah. But right now, they're kind of seen like the Boeing of the cybersecurity industry. And I ain't going to put you in a Boeing, and right now I'm not going to put you in CrowdStrike. I'll say that. Joe, you want to take us out on the last screen? S is surging right now.
Yeah, this is it.
Okay, perfect. Actually, real quick, someone said S is surging, so let me give you one more fish, then we out of here. S, Sentinel 1. Boom. Oh, yeah. But look at that upper wick. I don't like that upper wick. A lot of profit taking. It is in the fast lane still, so I'll give it that. But with that upper wick, that has me cause for concern. And right now, I mean, honestly, let's be honest. Everyone's, CrowdStrike. Let's go pump up another cybersecurity stock and see who falls for it. But yeah, Bill, shooting star. That's what I'm seeing there. I ain't going to fall for this one. If you are thinking about Sentinel-1, wait for price action and get above today's high just for some confirmation. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Like I said, Glenn should be back tomorrow as far as you know. He is okay. So everyone, thank you for asking about him. But I think you just want to spend some time with the family. But tomorrow, we've got big earnings. So take note of that. And also, Friday, PCE data. Key data for the Federal Reserve in their decision to lower or raise or keep them high, whatever they want to do with interest rates. I think the market's going to be a little volatile. It's going to show some indecision leading up to that PCE report. I think, if anything, earnings might make or take us one way or the other, but I have a feeling we're in a pretty range-bound, volatile week going into PCE. You guys have a good day. Talk to you. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.